friends, welcome back. Today I wanted to show you one of my favorite recipes. We're making moussaka, vegan moussaka. And if you don't know what this recipe is, it's basically a potato, eggplant, and traditionally meat based recipe. And cultures throughout the Mediterranean, Middle East, and the Balkans have been making this recipe with a lot of variations, but I definitely grew up eating this a lot. It's very traditional in Greece, and today I'm gonna show you how to make it vegan. It's honestly so easy to make, so let's just jump right in. Okay, let's start out with our vegetables. I'm first cutting up this big eggplant in these half-inch slices. Then I'm going to be covering each one of these in salt and letting that sit so all of the water can be drawn out of the eggplant. Then I'm peeling up my potatoes and also slicing those up. Then I'm setting those aside and I'm starting with my quote-unquote meat filling. I'm slicing up my garlic cloves and then chopping up my mushrooms in these little tiny pieces and doing the same with my zucchini. And you can really play around with this and use whatever veggies you have on hand, but mushrooms really have that meaty texture, so I like using those. Then I'm adding all my chopped veggies in a pan along with a generous amount of olive oil. And I'll let that cook down and mix it around with some salt and pepper. Then it's time to add all our spices. I added salt and pepper, of course, garlic powder, oregano, cumin. I added some cinnamon, which is kind of like my holy grail in these types of recipes. And I also added a few tablespoons of tomato paste. And then I just went in with my Impossible meat. You can use any meat replacement you want, or you could just go ahead with just the veggies. But I really like this Impossible meat in this. It makes it literally taste just like a regular moussaka. And yeah, I just break it up and mix it very well. Once that's done, I'm gonna start by making my bechamel. This is so easy to make, I had no idea, but you just use a stick and a half of butter, and once that's melted, you're gonna slowly put in your flour and mix it while you put it in. And once that's kind of like thickened up, you're gonna add your veggie stock. I made my own veggie stock, but store-bought is totally fine. And you're gonna add salt and pepper to that and just keep mixing until it's all creamy and well incorporated. And by the way, all the exact measurements that I have on screen will be down in the description as well. Now that we have all the filling ready, I bring out my eggplants again, and as you can see, I'm blotting out the water that came out of the eggplants from the salt that we put on earlier. And now we just assemble everything. This is the fun part. I start out by laying out all the potatoes on the bottom. I like doing the potatoes first because they get really crispy. Then I'm laying out my eggplants and adding the meat mixture on top. Then doing another layer of the potatoes and eggplant and adding the bechamel on top. And oh my god, I cannot wait to dig into this. I add a tin foil on top and bake this at 355 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius for about 45 minutes or until it's like golden and crispy on top. And once that cools down, we're ready to dig in. The time has finally come. This was a lot of hard work, but let's try this vegan moussaka and get a little bit of everything. This recipe really brings me back because it just like melts in your mouth. And you should know when you eat this, you're probably gonna need a nap after, but it's worth it. Mmm. So good. Oh my god. Every time I make this, I'm like surprised by myself. I'm like, you really just do this? Moussaka looks a little messy on my plate, but it just was falling everywhere. But if you're a little more careful than I am, I'm sure you'll be able to make it more aesthetic. You have to try this. You absolutely have to try this. It's honestly very simple, and it's so easily veganized. I cannot believe I've only had vegan moussaka a handful of times in my life. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you try this recipe out. I would love to see you recreate this. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little recipe. Subscribe for more, and I will see you next week. Love you guys. Bye!